All right, so I'm going to show you right here, right now, how to become one of the most powerful people in the world, or maybe at least in your city, or in your family, or in your business, or at the place that you work. Regardless of where you want to use this, I'm about to show you guys how to be one of the most powerful people that you can possibly be. And now, when I say powerful, I don't mean like you're going to become a superhero, or I don't mean that you're going to take over the world and tell everybody what to do, or anything like that. But you will be able to make such a huge impact in your life, whatever you want, like literally anything that you want. There is absolutely no doubt that you can actually make it happen. Before I tell you what are those 3 things that you need to do to become one of the most powerful people, I'm going to tell you the 3 things that you could do that will not make you the most powerful person. Let's start off there. Let's start off with, if you do these 3 things, there is no way you will probably ever accomplish anything that you want. You will probably never have the life of your dreams. It's that simple. The most common thing that I've seen, and I've seen this with myself, so I want you guys to keep this in mind. When I share these things, it's because I've actually experienced them. When I share these things, it's because I've actually met a ton of people, like literally, like not just on podcasts or like social media, like there too, but like literally in real life. I've met people on both sides of the spectrum, and it is just astonishing to see how more people have not picked up on these things and how small the percentage of people who actually apply this, how small it actually is. It's just mind-boggling because it's pretty basic information. And you know what? Maybe I've just gotten to a point in my life where I've learned so many things that I just think that some of these things are basic. When I say basic, like I'm like literally saying that it's basic, right? When I think something's hard, like something's actually difficult, if you really think about it, I'm thinking about like, I'm gonna go out and build a rocket. Like, you know what? That might be kind of hard. Like, I don't know how to build a rocket. I don't even know how to put 2 wires together. Like, you know, I mean, literally, I have no clue, right? I know nothing about plumbing, nothing electrician. I'm digressing, but that's not the point. There are so many actual difficult things out there, but some of these skill sets, some of these like things that if you get really good at, you can actually end up being good at a lot of things, right? Which is what we're about to talk to. So what are these 3 things that will absolutely not make you the most powerful person in the world? Like, you will actually struggle in your life. And those 3 things, they're pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and you've probably heard them already. But when you do all 3 of these, you're probably gonna have a rough time, honestly. Like, your day is gonna feel pretty hard, and your goals are gonna feel almost impossible to actually make happen. And the 3 things are: 1, that you think about what you want to do, and then you just keep on thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and then you never actually do anything with it. Like, you just keep thinking about it and you get stuck in analysis paralysis. Now look, there is nothing wrong with thinking. Thinking is actually a great skill, and I actually think people should think, because not enough people think. But when you get caught up in thinking all day, every day, and that's all you're doing, there's nothing's gonna happen there. Like, you're just stuck in the thinking, right? So then you're caught up in the thinking. And the second thing that they do is, once they've actually thought about it, you know, and they're like, you know what, I actually got a pretty good plan right now, and I think this is what needs to happen. They then end up waiting. I'm gonna wait for the right time. I'm gonna wait for the right opportunity. I'm gonna wait until I get a sign from God. And then you just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and then nothing ever happens. You do all this thinking, and then you keep waiting. If you do both of those combined, like, you're pretty much done, honestly. Like, I've been there so many times in the past. And then the third thing that you do, once you're waiting, you're like, you know what? I need to analyze this a little bit more. That's the third thing that they do. They're like, I gotta analyze this and make sure that it's actually the right move. Like, I already thought about it, then I figured it out, then I waited, and now I'm gonna overanalyze it some more, right? That whole process is analysis paralysis in one way or another. But like, some people get stuck at different parts of it a lot more. And so I break it down that way, because if you can identify which part you're getting caught up in, it's just funny to think, because when I think about it today, I'm like, dude, it's so basic and simple. And like, look, don't get me wrong, because I did the exact same thing even just a year ago, even 6 months ago. I still get caught up in things that I'm like overthinking about it, right? And so like, I'm not perfect by any means, right? So like, I am just like you. What I've gotten really good at is diminishing how often I do that and diminishing where I do it, right? Because some people struggle doing this more in business, and maybe they don't do it in other things. Most of us struggle, the lack of decisiveness. Usually if you lack decisiveness, you probably lack that in every part of your life. Like it's not just one thing or the other, but maybe some parts are harder. If you could identify which part you're getting stuck on, like you will absolutely move so fast. And why do you want to move fast, right? Which then leads me, this is what then leads me to the 3 things that will make you one of the most powerful people in this world. And to summarize really these 3 things is that speed is king. Speed is queen, king and queen, whatever you want to call it. Being fast will get you some of the fastest results ever. And now look, you need to spend some time thinking, right? So you're not just gonna go out there and start deciding for no reason just because you gotta decide. Like you will build up to that point where you can just decide very rapidly. But if you're not quite there yet, yeah, you gotta think a little bit. But eventually, this is where what you don't wanna do. You don't wanna get caught up in the thinking and just thinking and thinking and thinking. What happens? What is the first thing that some of the most powerful, successful people do? Is that they move fast. You think about it, then you move fast. You think about it, then you move fast. What would be the next step? What would be the next step? Like start the process, right? Like when I say move, I mean like start the process. Do something. Like, hey, I'm gonna, start this new business. I'm gonna think about it. Okay, I figured it out. I'm gonna want to do this. I want to do that. I should do this. Okay, what would be the next thing to do? Hey, set up the LLC, open a bank account. Like just move. Just move. Don't overthink it, right? That is one of the biggest things. And it's so simple, but we don't even take the first step, right? And the second thing is that you actually execute on the thing. Like literally execute on the next task and the next task and the next task, right? It's not just about moving towards the direction or kind of putting it together, kind of reaching out to people like, yeah, at least you're moving. You got some motion, right? You got some motion, some things happening, but now you got to start executing. And what is the third thing, right? You're moving. You've already done the thinking. You're moving. Now you're executing on some moves here and there. You're getting people involved. You're paying for things. You're buying things, whatever the hell you got to do. You're putting a business plan together. Like you're moving, you're executing, right? What is that third thing? You know what happens in that third thing? And I've talked about this in a lot of my videos is momentum. You build massive momentum. You cannot build momentum if you're not actually moving and if you're not actually executing, right? You can think all you want, but you're going to build momentum in your head and you're not going to actually do anything with it. You're not actually going to accomplish anything. You're not actually going to get any results. If you want to get actual results, not only do you need to move, but you need to execute so that you can build momentum to actually get the result that you want. When you summarize all that, what is that called, right? That is speed is king, right? Or speed is queen, whatever you want to call it. Just like the first one, what are people who are not successful, people who don't actually accomplish the things that they want? They're stuck in analysis paralysis, right? That is a summary of the 3 things you do not want to do, right? But if you want to actually get results, then you need to be fast. Speed is king in anything and everything. You can ask any of the most successful people out in the world. Anybody, think about in any trait, any industry, entrepreneurs or athletes or art or whatever the case is, speed is king. If you cannot move fast, you will struggle, my friends. Like you will absolutely struggle. And I can say this without a doubt because I was literally you, right? So if you are struggling with this right now, I am telling you, just take some action. Just move, go towards the direction that you're going. Even if you're going slow, even if it's slow, just move. Like yes, speed is king, but you're better off moving towards that direction as opposed to not moving at all, right? Don't get stuck in the thinking. You want to create results in your life? You want to make a massive change? Then move, execute, and build momentum. And that is all I got for you guys today, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.